Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Trust you and yours are well, and you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you my esteemed subscribers. You love, celebrated, and appreciated. There was a statement Trump made in some of his speeches, and that caught my attention. And I said, it is good that we listen to that and compare it to the situation of the motherland. And I'm also going to bring you some information, the replies that some African leaders had after, this whole, oh, we're not going to give you aid anymore, and the rest of them. So let's listen to Trump's speech, and then we take it up from there.
Truth is plain to see. If you want freedom, take pride in your country. If you want democracy, hold on to your sovereignty. And if you want peace, love your nation. Wise leaders always put the good of their own people and their own country first. The future does not belong to globalists. The future belongs to patriots. The future belongs to sovereign and independent nations who protect their citizens, respect their neighbors, and honor the differences that make each country special and unique.
All right, Majesties, I'm going to roll in the clip of some analysts talking about this whole situation, because a lot of African leaders were about running mad. Because Trump is saying that he's going to cut off aid to African countries. Now, when I tell you that Africa is happy, it is of people, the masses that are happy that Trump is cutting off aid to whichever country that they claim they are giving aid to, because those aid are not doing anything good to the masses at all. So it's better those aid go, and then maybe our leaders will see clearly and begin to be good leaders, right? But when it comes to the side of the leaders, they are not happy that these aids are gone. They've had meetings. Oh, what do we do now that America is cutting off the aid of so amount of dollars that was coming into the country? How do we go about it? These leaders are leaders who do not really want the growth of their nation. Like some group of people would say that Donald Trump is a blessing to Africa, because with these steps he's taking, pushing you back, making you face reality, it will help you want to develop in your homeland. And that was why the first statement he said caught my attention. If you want freedom, take pride in your country. A lot of us do not take pride in our origin. We don't take pride in where we come from. We don't take pride in who we are as a people. We take pride in another person's, someone else's inheritance. Why can't you take pride in your own inheritance? You are running to a country that is already made. They're putting efforts to make for those countries to be developed. Why are you not working for your own nation to be developed? You want something that is already made. Why can't we suffer to put ours together? There is a lot involved in this. Now let's listen to this.
I saw some people the other day crying. Trump has removed money. He said he's not giving us any more money. Why are you crying? It's not your government, it's not your country. He has no reason to give you anything. You don't pay taxes in America. This is a wake-up call for you to say, okay, what are we going to do to help ourselves? We have to begin to reprioritize what is important for us as Africans on the continent, and where should our resources go. And towards that end, to remember the amount of resource we waste killing each other. When you see the devastation caused across this continent by the many unnecessary wars, Sudan, DRC, all across the Sahel, all across the continent, we have actually lost more people to bullets fired by Africans on Africans than we actually lost to the coronavirus. And we have actually spent more buying those bullets to kill ourselves than we have actually spent on protecting our health and our societies. So an end to war and a collaboration towards putting an end to these conflicts and being able to repurpose our resources to where they shall have the greatest impact on our population shall remain the biggest and most critical agenda for the African continent. Let us be ready and let us be prepared. Let us be self-reliant by ensuring that we deal with the challenges that we have in order for us to be able to free resources for where they are most needed. And also as Africans, not to wait for others to come to our rescue. As I told you, our excitement when we watched CNN and BBC and everybody else celebrate these new vaccines that were being rolled out. But as we were celebrating watching the TV, none of this was coming to us. So my friends, any future pandemic that comes, don't think anybody out there is going to come and look up. They'll look after themselves first. Then if there's any surplus, basi mutapatiwa ile mabaki imebaki, mujisaidie ile kidogo kidogo tu, mtupiwe tu mkule huko kando, hata mutapatiwa bure, kwa sababu sasa at that time hakuna shida, wamejitengeneza nyinyi sasa shauri yenu. So you have to actually see how we ourselves are at the center of the discussion of any future pandemic that may occur, and how we as Africans are going to be prepared with our own resources, with our own vaccines, with our own research, with our own academia, with our own private sectors, to prepare ourselves to face any future challenges. And let me conclude by saying that whether we like it or not, funding for this has to come from ourselves. Yeah? I saw some people the other day crying, oh, I don't know, Trump has removed money. He said he's not giving us any more money. Why are you crying? It's not your government, it's not your country. He has no reason to give you anything. I mean, you don't pay taxes in America. He is appealing to his people. Shauri yenu bana. This is a wake-up call for you to say, okay, what are we going to do to help ourselves? Instead of crying, tujiulize, what are we going to do? Haya ametoa hiyo pesa, sasa tutafanya namna gani jameni? What are we going to do? Yeah? To support ourselves. Because nobody is going to continue holding out a hand there to give you. It is time for us to use our resources for the right things. We are the ones who are using them for the wrong things. Yeah? The bullets and the guns we buy, we're not given for free. We buy them. And we're not buying them to go and fight wars off our shores. We are fighting our own people. Hapa too. Yeah? Brother killing sister, sister killing brother. Over stupid things. Yeah? Let us work together to bring an end to all of that and to focus ourselves on those issues that really matter for our people. I thank you very much.
What Uhuru Kenyatta just shared is eye-opening. We should understand that this situation could be a wake-up call for African nations to reduce dependency on foreign aid.
Like I keep telling you from previous videos, what Trump is doing is looking out for his race of people, building their future. Okay? What African people should do is to look out for their own people and build out a future. This is a time where African leaders should sit up, The African people should wake up. Enough of this, we are going to the West to make it. It's not always greener at the other side. Why can't you make your own home green? What is stopping you from making your home green? If it is your leaders that is stopping you from making your home green, what effort are you putting in so that you don't have leaders like that in the future? We don't care about the future of our people and the survival of our race. We care about what has been made already. That is it. So it is a good thing that we have someone like this who is telling you to your face, pushing you back to your roots, go back and make yourself. Like what he said about the Nigerian people, I keep telling you, yes, you're smart, you're intelligent, but go put all this effort into your home and your people. Let's listen to Adamu Garba. I love his analysis, and this is about the cutting off of aid and what it's in for the African people. I'm going to leave you with that, and I'm going to see you in my next one, Your Majesty.
Welcome back. Let's talk about the impacts of, you said, defunding, if you will, and literally withdrawal of personnel by the United States government led by President Donald Trump, where he has made very sweeping statements and policies. As a matter of fact, a lot of the things they are doing with, you said, some people are saying, you said, is dead, quote and unquote. How does that affect Africa, the rest of the world, and especially Nigeria? Because some of those intervention funds and grants get to us one way or the other. I've been joined in the program by the founder, Global President, Women Empowerment Program, Dr. Priscilla Chakma, joining us from Benue State. Also, Mr. Global Affairs Analyst and former presidential aspirant, Mr. Adamu Garba, joins us from Abuja studios. Mr. Garba, thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
So, Trump is he was sworn in on January the 20th. In just weeks, the whole world is vibrating, from trade war to the statement in Gaza. But the one that concerns us is some of the interventions through, you said, that he's now said, look, all of the spendings that are happening that are not necessary, they are not going to continue. So, as an overview, how does this affect us? For the people who don't understand the implication of the policy of and the executive order of Mr. Trump?
Thank you once again for having me. You see, prior to the Dodge announcement, you know, when Donald Trump was sworn in office, he promised even during the campaign that there is something called Department of Government Efficiency that is going to be run by Elon Musk. So that department happened to be like an information expose department, and then driving the great reset of the United States policy framework, both internally and externally. Part of which is this, you said, that was technically put out of use, and that although prior to this expose, people like us and so many ordinary Africans, especially Nigerians, will be thinking that USAID is actually one of the most important organizations that assisted in supporting healthcare, education, endowment, and several civil society organization activities in Nigeria. Because in just FY 2023, Nigeria got almost $824 million of USAID funding. But then again, when the expose came out, and so many documents came to limelight, especially one of the critical documents was the document released by the Department of Army of the United States, which is called Special Army Operation Forces. I think the document is online. You can check it. I think F305.130 document that discussed how USAID is used as a weapon of unconventional warfare, conventional warfare, and also irregular warfare. So it means that even though this, you said, is supposed to serve some humanitarian, educational, and also health and civil society cases, it was actually an operation of the United States Army. And what they use is to carry out so many PSYOPs and info-ops operations to create a situation that will bring about irregularity, destabilization, confusion, and so many other state of trouble that we have today in most of the places where they operate most. Because if you look at the list of the top 10 countries where you said operate most, from Ukraine, the topmost, down to South Sudan, you will see that almost all these countries are in this array, despite the so much money that is committed to them. Ukraine alone in that 2023 has about $16 billion. But all of us know the situation of Ukraine today. Two-thirds population of Ukraine have left the country. More than 600,000 deaths. And deaths keep continuing. And when you track the history of Ukraine, you know, from the coup d'etat that took place in 2014 that removed Viktor Yanukovych, down to Zelensky era, and all the current moment that is happening, the crisis between them and Russia, and the debt that is being recorded there, which is funded single-handedly by the USD, by the USAID, then you will now begin to question the $824 million that is invested in Nigeria in 2023, where does it go to? Are we sure that these monies that are invested are not going through this unconventional, irregular warfare that they use to drive their agenda by making sure that they keep us in check, in alignment with the principles, diplomatic, intelligence, financial, law enforcement, and economic programs of the United States of America, so that we are always in line with their own programs? Does that inform the reason why, since you say it's also one of the organs that fund insurgency in the world, does that inform the reason why most of the places where you
Mr.
have
Garba,
the massive
I'm
amount of
trying to
NGOs,
understand you.
the crisis and the conflicts hardly cease, like Boko Haram that is located in the remote part of Lake Chad?
Mr. Garba,
this kind of massive weapons.
Mr. Garba, I'm trying to understand you. I'm really trying to understand you here. Are you saying that you said is a smoke screen for something entirely different, for which what you're saying we cannot particularly provide proof? What we know you say to be is, you know, an interventionist agency providing intervention in the health sector, and some of these programs are known. PEPFAR, you know, for instance, the programs are known. So I don't know if you have proof to provide, you know, to back up some of the things that you are saying, but what we know you say to be is entirely different.